All right, let's jump right in. We're going to unpack a book summary that pulls back the curtain on a hidden history of power. You know, the stuff they conveniently left out of your high school textbooks.
So, think about this for a second. What if the history we all learned, the one with all the kings and dates and big battles, what if that was just like a tiny piece of the real story, a cleaned up, sanitized version that hides a much, much darker truth? And what if the real history wasn't written by the winners, but by the schemers, the manipulators, the ones working from the shadows?
Yeah, our textbooks love to talk about the great leaders, right? But they kind of gloss over let's just say, the brutal stuff they did to get to the top. And that's exactly the point author Dominic Selwood is making. He argues that real history isn't about memorizing a bunch of dates. Nope, it's actually a playbook, a manual for the psychological games that are still shaping our world right now, today.
All right, so let's meet our first character in this whole hidden history, the spy, the master of deception.
Okay, first things first, forget James Bond. A real spy's greatest weapon isn't some exploding pen, it's observation. Their true power is being this invisible psychologist, right? Someone who can read your body language, your tone, your little habits, basically everything, to figure out what's going on in your head without ever asking a single question.
So, how do they do it? Well, it all comes down to pattern recognition. It's a simple three-step process. First, you just watch someone and learn their normal behavior, what they do when they're relaxed. That's their baseline. Then, you look for the moment something changes, when something is just off. That's the anomaly. Think about it like this. A CEO in a negotiation says, "This is our final offer." But as he says it, he touches his neck. Busted. That's a classic tell for discomfort. It's a sign he's probably bluffing. And catching that one tiny detail, that could be worth millions.
Okay, moving on from the subtle world of spies, we're diving into something much, much darker. Let's meet the next archetype, the sadist. And we're not talking about cruelty for kicks here. This is about cruelty as a cold, calculated tool for power.
This quote from Machiavelli, it's pretty much the mission statement for the sadist leader. They get it. Love is, well, it's unreliable. It can disappear tomorrow. But fear, fear is different. Fear is a currency that never loses its value. It is a guaranteed way to keep people in line.
You want to see this in action? Look at Genghis Khan. People think he was just on a rampage, but his massacres weren't random at all. They were a message, a terrifying advertisement sent to the next city on his list, basically saying, surrender now or this is what happens to you. The fear spread way faster than his armies ever could. And you see echoes of this today, right? Think of a boss who just tears into one employee in front of the whole team. Is that message really just for that one person? Of course not. It's for everyone else watching. It's a warning. Stay in line.
All right, we've had the spy and the sadist. Now for our third, and maybe most subtle player of all, the sorcerer. This is the one who doesn't need a sword or a whip. All they need is the magic of belief. So what is a sorcerer in this context? It's someone who deals in belief systems. See, the real magic trick, the most powerful one, is understanding this one simple truth. If you can control the story people believe about the world, if you can define their heroes, their enemies, their whole purpose, then you control their actions. You control them. End of story.
And here's the timeless formula they use. It's so simple, it's brilliant. You don't give people complicated facts. No, you give them an enemy to hate and a promise to believe in. That's it. It's propaganda 101, really. You find a villain to focus everyone's fear and anger on, and then you step in and say, I'm the only one who can save you. It's a playbook that has worked for centuries, and it's still working right now.
And this is maybe the most crucial point of the whole book. These archetypes, the spy, the sadist, the sorcerer, they never went away. They're not just some characters from a history book. They're absolutely alive and well today. They've just changed their costumes.
And you can see exactly how these power games are still being played, just with new job titles. That court informant from centuries ago listening for secrets in the hallway? Today, that's the data analyst at a big tech company who knows what you want to buy before you even do. The cruel emperor making an example of someone? Well, now it's the anonymous cyberbully who inflicts very real psychological pain from behind a screen. And that mystical advisor like Rasputin whispering in the king's ear? He's been replaced by the political strategist or the media guru, the ones who spin the stories that literally shape how we see the world.
So, this all begs the most important question, right? In a world where these mind games are constantly being played all around us, how in the world do you defend yourself?
Okay, so the book lays out a really clear three-part defense strategy. Rule number 1, master your emotions. See, manipulators feed on your emotional reactions. They want you to be outraged or scared, because when you're emotional, you stop thinking critically. Rule 2, seek multiple sources. You have to consciously break out of your own information bubble, your echo chamber. Go find perspectives that actually challenge what you believe. And number 3, and this is a big one, read real history. The messy, complicated, uncomfortable stuff. Because once you see how these exact same patterns have been used over and over again for centuries, you basically become immune to them. You're vaccinated against manipulation.
And that brings us to the final, ultimate takeaway. The core message is this: power is a story. And the greatest power of all isn't held by the spies, or the sadists, or the sorcerers. It's held by the person who learns to step back from all the noise, to see the game for what it is, and then makes the conscious choice to become the author of their own story.